1 Kings 19, 11 through 13, I believe, yeah. So 11, and he said, this is God talking to Elijah, and he said, "Go out and stand on the mount before the Lord. And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great and strong wind rose, tore the mountains, and broke in pieces the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, the sound of a low whisper. And when Elijah heard it, he wrapped his face in the cloak and went out and stood at the entrance of the cave. And behold, there came a voice to him and said, 'What are you doing here, Elijah?'" I love imagery like this about God because we have these massively powerful and terrible things that we consider: earthquakes, fires, winds that can break apart mountains. I mean, come on, that's insane. God wasn't in any of those. You know, we go through life and we see these natural disasters, the fires that are burning hundreds of thousands of acres, earthquakes, tsunamis, so on and so forth, and it scares us, but God is found in a whisper, oftentimes in silence. Where are we seeking God? Do we seek him in the majesty? Is everything about God majesty? Like, oh, I go to nature to find myself and to find God. Or do we sit in silence? I think one of the most terrifying things that a human can do is sit in their boredom. Because it's terrifying because you'll hear the voice of God. It's terrifying because you'll begin to realize who you are. And that can be terrifying, especially when you have the Bible to stand yourself against. You know, as we talked about in Sunday school today, you know, the farther you go in faith, the more sin you realize that you do. And sitting in silence and sitting with yourself, I think that you can hear that voice, you can hear the conviction that the Holy Spirit puts in you. But I pray that we seek out that silence, we seek out that boredom sometimes, so that we can be aware